Over 50,000 people have been
China is old, really old, older than me. But how did China begin? Who put the chai in nut? The story starts around 5,000 years ago during the first period of China, known as the Three Sovereigns and Five Emperors, a semi-mythological period that lasted from 2900 BC to 2200 BC. Now, this is according to sources from 2,000 years ago, about something that supposedly happened 2,000 years before that, so it can only be 100% accurate. First of the three sovereigns is Fu Xi, a god emperor with a snake's body, who lived with a fellow snake-bodied woman called Niu Wa, who was, according to some sources, either his sister, or sometimes his wife, or sometimes both. Fu Xi, he was a pretty sagely guy, fancied himself as an inventor, and invented some pretty nifty stuff. He was credited with inventing hunting, fishing, the fishing net, cooking, animal domestication, music, writing, numbers, fire starting, and marriage. And maybe he made the entire Earth and life and humans? It's up in the air. I did try to reach out to Fu Xi for clarification, but sadly received no reply. Possibly as he doesn't speak English. And we cannot discount his sister wife here. Allegedly, she created mankind out of clay. She modelled each person by hand from yellow clay, carefully forming each part, like prehistoric Warhammer, until one day she thought, this takes too long, and decided, screw it, dragged some rope through the mud, and that created the rest. The handcrafted models became the nobles, and the crappy-ass mud boys became the commoners. During her time as empress, she fought against a neighbouring tribe, and defeated their chief. The chief, so butthurt about being beaten by a woman, bashed his head in on the heavenly bamboo, which broke the sky and caused a huge flood, killing everybody in the whole damn world, except for Niuwa and her crew. She then fixed up this catastrophic plumbing issue with 5 magically coloured stones, and the flood stopped. Then, she killed a giant turtle and used its legs as support for the sky, but didn't do it right, so it got wonky, which is why the sun rises in the east. In some sources, Niuwa is said to have died during her turtle DIY. Fu Xi, on the other hand, died at the young age of 197 and was succeeded by Shennong. Shennong was a pretty chill normal guy, had the head of an ox, but a pretty good guy. Shennong was all about farming and herbs. Bro loved them herbs. He discovered loads of different herbs and plants, including tea. He supposedly wrote a book about different herbs, taught the people to use herbs in medicine. His stomach was transparent, like some kind of botanical Teletubby, so people could see what the herbs he ingested did. Like his predecessor, he was a little bit of an inventor, and invented a little something called agriculture. Don't know if you've heard of it. At the age of 3, he was able to plough a field by himself, possibly due to his oxy nature. He showed people, you don't have to eat boring ass stuff, like meat and clams. Nuh-uh, you can eat grains and seeds and high fructose corn syrup, and the people considered him a god. But as the story goes, you live by the herb, you die by the herb, and one day Shennong herbed off more than he could chew, and ate a poisonous plant that caused his insides to rupture, probably on full display due to his stomach window, and then he died before he could drink his antidote. Now, a huge footnote here. It may shock you to the core to learn that history from 5,000 years ago isn't consistent. Sometimes the three sovereigns are Fuxi, Shennong, and Nuwa. Sometimes they say screw Nuwa and elevate the next guy to the sovereign tier. Sometimes it's three different guys entirely. Like Xu Ren, who claimed to introduce the people to fire, or Yan Di, who's also claiming fire, and might just be Shennong. Whichever it may be, it's time for my man Huang Di. Like the sovereign former, he fancied himself a farmer, teaching people to treat animals nice and discovering soy, millet and rice. A thinker and a mentor, he was also an inventor, creating weapons of war and clothes for the poor. He was said to have been conceived in a manner most frightening when his mother got off with a bolt of lightning. Wait, what? His mother went to take a walk in the country and saw great lightning around the Big Dipper. She was aroused and she conceived. 24 months later, she delivered Huang Di. What? His mother got Big Dippered? Anyway, Huang Di was much closer to an actual king or emperor than old see-through Shennong. He fought in battles, apparently besting and merging with another tribe, which is said to have kicked off that whole China thing. Also, he had to fight against the legendary bastard Qi Yu, who had taken over a bunch of tribes in the area, which pissed Huang Di off. Huang Di called upon 8 tribes to face against Qi Yu's 81 tribes. The two sides clashed for days, with Huang Di slowly taking the advantage. To counter this, Qi Yu ripped a fat vape and coated the battlefield in a thick fog. Huang Di's armies fell into complete disarray, unable to see either the enemy or have a chance to retreat. Huang Di had to do something. And he only invented the goddamn southern pointed chariot on the spot, which chased Qi Yu's bum ass out of town. Not to be so easily defeated, Qi Yu once again used his mythical Chinese vape to summon a heavy storm. But Huang Di, so done with Qi Yu's shenanigans, just asked the gods to deal with it and finished off Qi Yu for good. He ruled for 100 years and died at the young age of 111. He was succeeded by his ancestor Xuan Xu. Xuan Xu was a little bit of a religious reformer and wasn't pleased that everyone was listening to dodgy shamans. He also opposed other things he considered cringe and woke, like a matriarchal system and close kin marriages. He also closed the path between heaven and earth, which sounds like a pretty nuts thing to do, but the story goes that the road was previously open for business and people could freely travel to heaven and back. But much like the M1 to Birmingham, sometimes fearsome creatures and wrathful gods came too. Xuan Xu had enough of the divine pillaging and closed the road with the help of his 2 giant grandchildren. Xuan Xu wasn't succeeded by his own son, as you might expect, you clever one, but rather his cousin. This was the case because Xuan Xu's son wasn't, intellectually gifted, as they say, and by that he literally named his son Blockhead. So, Cousin Ku came next, after Xuanzhu died young, at the age of 98. Emperor Ku, or Di Ku, was a real brainiac, being able to talk when he was a baby. What does a baby have to talk about? I'm not talking to you, you don't know anything about stuff. You don't pay taxes. It is said that he rode a dragon in the spring and summer, and a horse in the autumn and winter. Not my place to tell a fellow with a dragon what to do, but I think you've got that backwards. It's also said that he's responsible for the invention of several musical instruments, including the drum, ocarina, bell and flute. After ordering his own orchestra, he had people perform and commanded a phoenix to dance. During one especially interesting period, an enemy general was threatening Ku with an invasion. Ku put out a bounty on the general's head, promising his daughter's hand in marriage for the victor. One individual did manage the task and brought the general's head to Ku, and was rewarded and married Ku's daughter. A little asterisk here, the successful individual was a dog. A mythical dog called Pan Hu. Now I appreciate him being a man of his word, but personally, I wouldn't allow my daughter to get that kind of dog. Ku kicked it at the age of 63 and was succeeded by Emperor number 4, his son Yao. Although this is debated. Like most, he may have had a mythical baby daddy. The most wacky of which stated that his mother was the daughter of a god and her body was surrounded by yellow clouds. One day, whilst relaxing near a river, a dragon flew down to her and knocked her up. 14 months later, Yao pops out, which is a really heartwarming story. Emperor Yao's reign was regarded as a golden age, praised as exactly what an emperor should do. He taught the people to sow different crops according to different seasons, ruled by meritocracy and kindness rather than punishment and fear, and most importantly, invented the game of Go. Everything was great and stuff until the infamous recurring villain of Chinese history, reared his ugly wet face. The Yellow River flooded. Catastrophe struck the lands. People died, whole villages were swept away, and Go games went disturbed. Yao called his special advisors and asked who was capable of stopping these terrible floods. "What about your son, Dan Shu?" one said. "No way," said Yao. "He is, quote, unscrupulous and wicked." All the advisors said Gun will probably do it. A guy named Gun, of course. They weren't going to shoot the river. Yao countered, "But Gun's not great. The man's an arse." The advisors countered, "Okay, but can you try though?" And he said, "Okay. But like a building project in modern-day Britain, after 9 years, little progress had been made." Distraught by this, Yao called up his special advisors again. "Hey, I'm getting really old. Would you like to take the throne?" he offered. "No way," said the special advisors. "We aren't great. Unscrupulous and wicked, you might say." "Then who else?" Yao shouted quietly. I got some guy called Shun. He's unmarried and generally pretty unremarkable. His family is crap, but he's pretty diligent, I guess. Say no.
If you want to smell sweet and fresh throughout the day, we have here Axe Black Vanilla.
So when self-criticism drags us down,
help us raise our arms higher.
Say no more, Yao said, and put Shun through a trial. The test would involve marrying his 2 daughters to Shun. With 2 nagging wives, Shun would surely break. But Shun was a good husband, so I guess that qualifies him? And surprisingly qualified he was. Within 4 years the floods had been stopped completely, and the realm had been put in a better state to address future catastrophes. Yao was old, and he needed a successor. The obvious choice would have been his son, Dan Shu, but he was still unscrupulous and wicked, and therefore he chose Shun to succeed him instead. Shun had a pretty rough childhood. His father was blind, and his mother died. His father then remarried and had another son. So the logical thing to do was kill your firstborn child. The stepmother was a rude woman. She also tried to kill Shun. His half-brother grew up to be arrogant, a real piece of work. He could be described as unscrupulous and wicked, and he also tried to kill Shun. Before he was put through the signature daughter marrying test, he lived humbly as a farmer, and yet, when he took the throne, and was given power and riches, he still continued to work the fields daily. Despite his attempted murderous childhood, he still mourned and visited his father's grave, forgave his stepmother, and he elevated his brother to the rank of prince. After Shun is a long history of dynasties and shattering, invasions and floods, up until today. So the question is, did any of this really happen? Was there really a guy with a transparent stomach? Was there a mythical M1 to heaven? Did incestuous dragon-riding snake people rule the land, like some kind of Chinese Game of Thrones? Yes, this is all 100% real, and if you disagree, you are unscrupulous and wicked.
Learning about the stereotypes that have been associated towards genders for many years made me question who I was. At first, I thought that I was different from all those who were supposedly linked with me. Turns out, it was all about stereotypes. Before I actually talk about these things, I would like to address something that I've never explicitly mentioned in a video. Across my 2 years of working on this channel, I've basically been confusing everyone about my gender identity. And I understand. The character design that I use for videos to depict me is seen as very feminine and girly, and that has apparently confused a lot of people. People have asked me if I'm a man or a woman. People have asked me if I'm trans. People have asked me what my pronouns are. And to answer all of those questions for the last time, I'm a cisgender, biological male who goes by he/him pronouns. Again, I understand why people have been asking me these things, as I guess my character design has been very misleading to them. Even with the given information, they'll still ask, why does your character look so feminine? Why does he look like a girl? A general response I would say is, it's a character design that I've made for years, but a more honest response would be, that's how I see myself. Learning about the things that I've liked even as a kid made me confused about myself, and even now, I still feel that way. But let's take it back to the beginning, or at least the earliest memory that I have where I felt wrong for being myself. When I was a kid, I remember going to my friend's house, who was a girl, and she was playing with her collection of dolls. Then she invited me to play with her, and I didn't think much of it. I just wanted to have fun at her house. I remember the joyfulness that we had together during that time. But then, my dad came to pick me up. He saw me playing with those dolls, and he looked upset. On that ride home, he confronted me. "Ethan, why are you playing with dolls?" "I don't know. She was playing with them, and I wanted to play too." "Ethan, you cannot play with dolls. They are for girls." "Okay." And that was just the beginning. That was the first time I ever liked something that I felt ashamed of. I didn't understand what was so wrong about it. But from then on, I was told to believe that playing with dolls was illegal for me. Although, there have been many other instances that I liked a non-masculine thing that my parents caught me doing and told me that I couldn't have it. I remember a while back when my mom caught me and she told me that it's gay. For years, I always thought that being gay meant a boy that likes girl things. When I realized what it actually meant, I've never felt so gaslit. Anyway, moving on. Another big factor that made me question myself started way early in elementary school. It was when I was exposed to tons of other kids my age, and that's when I started understanding more about the behavior of other children and how they act compared to me. Well, during the earlier years, I didn't notice anything off because we were all so young, and there was nothing to compare during the time, since we were all so ignorant. But during the last 2 years, where puberty was just starting, everything felt different. First of all, certain puberty factors. I've noticed that my voice sounded very high-pitched compared to all the other boys, as all of theirs sounded deep and masculine. Me, I still sounded like a girl. At least, to me, that's how I heard it. And also, the other boys felt like they had lots of muscle and were very tall. Back then, I was so short, I was shorter than several girls. That reminds me of that one class where we were organized by height. I was at the very end. It felt like all the other boys in my class were really developing in puberty, and I was just short and weak. It's not that I was a late bloomer, it's that I didn't really feel like a boy turning into a man. I was still a boy. Lastly, one major thing about me that I realized about myself. The friends that I made. Throughout the beginning, I had a small group of all male friends, but nearing the end, I started developing more friendships with girls. It was because I felt like I related to them more than the boys that I've met. I wasn't a fan of their personalities and interests that the boys had. I liked being around girls because they felt more relatable to me. I no longer wanted to hang out with my guy friends as much as I wanted to anymore. It wasn't until at one point, my female friends told me, "You should hang out with your other group again." And that's when it hit me. I didn't want to hang out with them as much, as I found a group that I felt like I understood a lot more. I didn't question the fact that I was the only boy in the group, and neither did they. Forming friendships with girls have always been so much easier for me, and it continued on like that in high school as well. Most of my friends were girls. I understood them more, I connected to their personalities way better, while the guys were all tough, energetic, and athletic. So much that I didn't feel like I fit in with them. That was one thing I felt some sort of belonging to. I could be friends with a bunch of girls, and I wouldn't feel weird with the fact that I was the only boy. Socially, I'd say these were the most prominent experiences that I've dealt with understanding the female group of teenagers rather than the male group. Besides that, I've discovered a lot about the more general things that I've liked in my life that were more directed towards women. Let me start off simple. Colors. Even such a simple thing like colors were strong enough to be gendered off. When I was younger, my favorite color was blue. I loved blue back then, but it was because I was told that blue is the boy color. As I got older, it changed. I then changed to red because it was similar to pink, but not so pink that it was considered feminine. But now my favorite color is slowly turning into pink. Could you believe that I was even ashamed of myself for even liking the color red? That reminds me of when I went to an amusement park. I wanted to get the red ball, and my dad said, "Don't you want the blue one?" No, I still don't understand how genders can affect color. Like, my brother once told me that he liked the color pink, and little me thought, wait, that's illegal. What? The fact that I thought that as a kid baffles me. I would have never thought that if no one ever told me that colors are only allowed to a certain kind. Anyway, another thing that women get that I wish I could have is their clothing. I envy women's clothing so much. They get so many pretty and colorful outfits, and throughout the majority of my life I've had to wear everything black and gray. It's boring. I want cooler clothes instead of my entire outfit being just t-shirts and jeans. Might I add, I hate jeans, especially tight-fitting ones. I had to wear them, and I hated it. The texture on my bare skin feels really uncomfortable. Even after my mom made me wear jeans so much, I can safely say that I hate jeans. Also, as a kid, I used to have this weird obsession with certain women's clothing. Back then, I would take my shirt and fold it to make it look like a crop top, or even a tube top. It was this weird liking I had because I loved women's clothes that I'll never be able to wear without people looking at me. Lastly, the main thing about women's clothing that I deeply envy is formal attire. Women get the chance to wear any dress they want. They come in so many colors and styles, while the only formal thing guys can wear are suits for every formal event. I also don't like wearing suits. They're so bland. Oh, it would be an absolute dream for me to be able to wear dresses without feeling like something's wrong with me. Speaking of dresses, I once went out with my mom a while back to look for clothes. Of course, parents don't know the style that their child wants, so they just pick clothes that they think looks good on their child. I was constantly telling my mom that I'm not really interested in the clothes she's picking me, and I had my eyes on the more colorful clothes. And then we got into an argument about what clothes I should wear, and she hit me with the words, "Why don't you wear a dress then?" And you know what? I would. I would actually love to wear a dress because they're beautiful and they seem like the most fun thing to twirl in. The point I'm trying to get across in this video is that everything that the things that our society has restricted ourselves to nowadays just because of our gender is wrong. As a kid, I was ashamed of myself for liking the things that I liked because they're only for girls. I practically hurt myself for liking a color. It all started when my parents were super keen on making me like certain things just because I was born a gender that I didn't choose to be. I don't want my biological sex affect the way I want to live my life, nor would I want anyone else to change that. So, back to what I talked about in the beginning. My character design is very feminine because that's how I see myself. Yet, everyone will always see me as a man because that's who I really am. This isn't to say I'm not a man, just because of all the things I've liked in my life. This is about stereotypes, and those factors don't change my gender. I may not have the confidence to express that, but drawing myself the way I do is the only way I can. I may not have long hair IRL, but someday I will, as long as my parents don't force me to get a haircut.
Drink Del Monte Fiber Enriched after your all-day kain to cleanse your tummy nightly.
Yeah, there he is!
You! Stop right where you are! That is an order! He's getting away! Do not let him!
Don't do it, pal!
Do not do it!
Hey, just calm down here. You listening? Just... Oh, God! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Oh, my God! My blood! He punched out all my blood!
You call that breaking my spine? You red team ladies wouldn't know how to break a spider. My spine! Nom, nom, nom. This will work.
We gotta hold this point.
Hello? If I survive, you all get a 5-cent raise. I see Heavy smiling. Medic! Medic! Oh, God! Mami!
Was ist los? You are trying my patience.
I healed the man who will kill you. Pyro!
Get away! Never!
Soup can! Fuck a creep, medic!
Yeah.
Help!
No.
Oh, piece of crap! Get over here! That's the way you do it! Now that's quality soup!
New Jollibee Game Joy combos. Eat to earn game rewards. Sarap mag-power up.
Booger sugar.
Bert, no, you can't.
I feel real good with my mouth.
Calm down,
I
Bert.
will not calm down until cocaine enters my system.
The ultimate game.
You don't want to do this right now. This is not.
Do you have some?
No.
You have some, don't you?
It is the devil.
You do. You've had
Listen
you
to
have
me.
some. You've had some this whole time.
I have not touched cocaine in 3 years.
You liar! I will drag you right into my private hell. You don't want to know my pain. I have a demon inside of me!
Where did we go so wrong? No! Yeah! Tell me, where did we go so wrong?
Gotta move that gear up! Alrighty then!
Can we get much higher? So high.
Alright, straight for E. All scout.
You just need a dispenser here.
We're gonna have to face off, I think, one soldier.
Here.
That's all. Just one soldier.
Need a dispenser here. Need a dispenser here.
That's a thick ass boy! Damn!
We join our heroes locked in a battle of wits.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Medic! Fuck him, man! It's bad! It's not possible! Oh!
That demo man is a spy!
The enemy has...
Help! Cheers, man! You're not good, dude!
Give us a hand! That pyro is a spy! Thanks! Thanks! Hey, give us a hand! Go!
Judge! May lasting saktong lamig. Mag-judge ka muna.
New Chowking Fried Siopaw. Lightly crisp, meaty sarap. Your next bao burrito.
Medic! How could this happen?
Yo, I need help capping! What are you looking at? Uh-oh.
Get over here!
What the hell is your guy's problem?
Somebody stop that scout!
Missed me! Ah! Oh! Stop it!
Now that is how it's done.
Magnificent.
Ah, crap!
Cheers, engineer.
Damn it! Oh, this ain't good. All right. Oh, that is beautiful. Hey, look at me! Look at me! Woo-hoo!
Go! Put this.
No!
All right, all right. Thanks.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! I knew this would happen! I foresaw this!
Come on, I don't have all day.
Sentry, let's get him!
Is this?
Yeah, laugh it up. I will kick your ass with this thing.
Not bad.
I am gonna mess you up!
No.
You have got to be kidding!
I'm afraid not.
Oh!
Time to get serious.
I'm dead!
Yes! Ah! Oh!
Engineer, where are you?
Ha Y'all ain't ready for this! Ah! Oh! Oh!
Watch out! Watch out! Woo! That is how a team of best friends wins a game. Let's do this. You and me. No, seriously, you all suck.
Hi.
Scott's DHA gummy for me day. DHA, a building block of the brain. The brain needs DHA. So yummy, so crazy. Scott's DHA.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Scott's DHA gummies ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Alam nyo, kuhang-kuha ni Black Vanilla yung kilig ko kasi this is more on the soft scent side and I love soft scent.
Medic! Doctor!
Hey, how's it going there?
This is bad!
Help! Yo, a little help
Medic!
here! Go, go, go! Come on, man!
Medic!
Are you even trying? Oh, my beautiful hands!
The healing is not as rewarding as the
Oktoberfest! Doctors are terrible!
Bloody gorgeous. Holy dooly. Now, that is not something you see every day.
Oh, yeah, I'm the best. Ooh, your gun shoots medicine. It's intimidating.
Now, doctor, charge me!
Yeah!
Here I come!
I got 3 words for you.
Work, damn it!
Medic Gaming!
Oh, what the? Ah! It's happening! Oh God, it's happening!
Medic!
Gotcha!
Spy among us.
Gotcha!
Thank you.
We have lost the center control point.
stupid face.
Ugly! You are nothing but crap!
You disgust me.
Oh, please.
Is anybody? Yo, if you didn't want me to, what the? You know what would? Never stop. Never stop believing in your dreams.
You
different. It's a miracle.
Team, go! Team, go! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
We have captured the control point.
Time!
Prepare to capture all control points. Success! We have captured the enemy's final control point. Alert! This control point is being contested.
I'm back.
Oh, crap!
You are such a bad doctor! Well, don't feel bad.
Oh my god!
I was a double agent!
Everything you just said was insane.
Yes! You gotta be kidding me! Hey, I'll say it. Everybody else here's too scared to say it, but I'll just say what everybody's thinking. You're just weird. Would you look at you? I mean, look at you! I can...
Damn. Spy's dead.
Idiot! Spy is not dead!
Sam, you're not right.
Oh! I got it!
I feel très bon.
Oh no! Spy! Oh god!
Well, the moment has passed. Back to...
Damn. Spy's dead. Again.
I never liked you.
Hey boys!
Spies are gone.
We need a brand new spy! No!
Let's go. Yeah. Hoo-wah.
That helmet's gonna make a nice bowl for your brains.
Each and every one of you will be sent home to your mama in a box.
Hi, Ma!
Killing you is full-time job now.
I think I'll take Sasha out for a steak dinner tonight. What do you think about that?
Scotland is not a real country. You are an Englishman with a dress.
Cheers, love! The cavalry's here!
They're going to bury what's left of you in a soup can.
I've seen better sides of beef been run over by a combine.
Don't feel bad. You did a fine job tossing your little balls around. I am going to claw my way down your throat and tear out your very soul. In your language, eat lead, laddies. I murdered your toys as well.
What sick man sends babies to fight me?
Give them hell, boys! Attack!
Here's a schematic for you. My ass!
Alrighty then. Erect and ask. All your heads look bloody 12 feet tall.
What the hell did you just freaking say about me, you little bitch?
Would you like a second opinion? You are all so ugly!
Your head's a freaking bat magnet!
Marasmus, I'm going to pull a rabbit out of your ass.
I hate you so much, soldier!
Son, I'm gonna blow that dumb look right off your stupid face.
Ha ha! What a bloodbath!
Get a haircut, trash cans. Your precious sandwich won't save you now, fatty! Help me! Help!
Hello, medic. I am going to say the N-word. No, Harry, do not say N-word. This is bad. You are very funny, but you cannot stop me. I will say N-word. I told you, do not say N-word. Stupid. Yo, fellas, what's going on over here? Well, you see, engineer, the Heavy tried to say the N-word. Oh, what's up? You guys can't say the N-word? Watch. I'll just do it. No, Scout, you will not say the N-word!
National flags don't always stay the same forever. Just look at the American flag, for instance. It's changed 26 times since the US gained independence. This got me thinking, how common is it for a national flag to change? In this video, I will list every single change to a national flag since the year 2000 and give some information about the changes along the way. Now, disclaimer, this information was gathered in July of 2023, so there may have been even more changes if you're watching this video several years later. Now, how many changes have there been? Well, you have to wait and see. The first national flag change of the 21st century was on January 24th, 2001, when Turkmenistan changed its flag from this to this. Not really a major change, just the aspect ratio is altered from 1:2 to 2:3 and the green field is made slightly brighter. Okay, this next change is more interesting. On October 25th, 2001, Rwanda changed its flag from this to this. This change actually has some more complex reasoning behind it. The previous flag was adopted in 1961, shortly after Rwanda became an independent nation, and used the Pan-African colors along with many other newly independent African nations at the time. The big R was put in the center to distinguish it from the flag of Guinea. However, in 2001, the government changed it since, over time, they felt it was becoming increasingly associated with the 1994 Rwandan genocide. Despite this, many Rwandans questioned this reasoning at the time and viewed it as the government simply modifying national symbols to increase their power and influence over the nation. On November 13th, 2001, Afghanistan changed its flag from this to this. This change was made after the Taliban lost control of much of Afghanistan during the war in Afghanistan and the Islamic State of Afghanistan overtook the Islamic Emirate. This is the first example of a flag that would later be changed even further throughout the 21st century. On December 23rd, 2001, the Comoros changed its flag from this to this. This change was made following the ratification of a new constitution for the nation which specified the design of a new flag. The next flag change was in early 2002 when St. Lucia changed its flag from this to this. The cerulean blue field of the original flag was changed to light blue. This is the first flag change which I couldn't find an exact date for, yet sources say it most likely came from around January to March 2002. Remember how I mentioned that Afghanistan would later change its flag even further? Well, we're already back, as on January 28th, 2002, Afghanistan changed its flag from this to this. This change was made due to the government wanting to revert the design of the Afghan flag back to the old black-red-green tricolor that had been used in past versions of the flag. Fun fact, this tricolor design originates from the year 1928 when the King of Afghanistan took a trip to Europe and was inspired by the flag of Germany. This can be seen by the flag of Afghanistan from the same year, in which you can tell there's a correlation. On February 14th, 2002, Bahrain changed its flag from this to this. This flag was introduced following Decree by Law No. 4 for 2002, which stated the King of Bahrain's new guidelines for the flag. I should mention now that when a nation gains independence, I'm going to count that as a national flag change. Consider it the nation changing its flag from nothing to something. On May 20th, 2002, East Timor gained independence and adopted this as its first and current flag. This flag was actually originally used in 1975 when East Timor originally gained independence before being annexed by Indonesia in 1976. However, as previously mentioned, their independence was restored in 2002, and this flag once again became a national flag. On June 27th, 2002, there was, once again, a change to the Afghan flag as it changed from this to this. Nothing major this time, just the coat of arms was changed from white to gold. This change was made shortly after the Afghan Transitional Authority was established in order to transition the nation toward adopting a representative government. On July 22nd, 2002, Albania changed its flag from this to this. This change was made following the ratification of Law No. 8926 of the Constitution of the Republic of Albania, which established a new standardized set of guidelines relating to the flag's design. On January 17, 2003, Italy changed its flag from this to this. This change was made following a circular by the State Secretary for the Presidency of the Council of Ministers, which specified a new set of colors for the flag. While I was at least able to find the time of year St. Lucia changed its flag in 2002, I couldn't find an exact date at all for this next change. In 2003, the Democratic Republic of the Congo changed its flag from this to this. Once again, just a simple color change, with the dark blue field becoming brighter. Finally, another major change. On January 14, 2004, Georgia changed its flag from this to this. The new flag in its modern form was used as a patriotic symbol after Georgia gained independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. While many attempts were made throughout the 90s to adopt the flag as a national flag, and the Parliament of Georgia actually passed a bill to make it so in 1999, it wasn't until 2004 when the President of Georgia finally endorsed it and made it official. On July 8, 2004, Lithuania changed its flag from this to this. The aspect ratio just changed from 1:2 to 3:5. The new flag was actually originally used back in 1918 when Lithuania gained independence from the Russian Empire, while also technically being occupied by the German Empire. However, in 1940, the Soviet Union took over Lithuania, and when Lithuania's independence was restored in 1989, the flag returned, just with a 1:2 aspect ratio. In 2004, the flag was reverted back to its original design. On August 15, 2004, Iraq changed its flag from this to this. Following the 2003 invasion of Iraq, the new administration in the nation wanted to change the flag to remove the pan-Arab design along with any association with Saddam Hussein. However, many Iraqi citizens contradicted these efforts, stating pan-Arabism to be an integral principle of most of the population's ideals for several decades and rejecting the claims that the old flag was entirely associated with the former presidency, seeing as the basic design of the flag had been used as far back as 1963. In the end, the administration compromised and just changed the writing on the flag to a stylized script instead of Saddam Hussein's handwriting. On October 9, 2004, Afghanistan changed its flag from this to this. This change was made following the approval of a new constitution for Afghanistan, which changed the aspect ratio from 1:2 to 2:3 and altered the flag's colors.
Del Monte Mr. Lunchtime! Froggy syrup! Extra fun in rainbow fruits!
On February 18, 2006, the Democratic Republic of the Congo changed its flag from this to this. Two variants of a similar design were actually used by the nation from 1963 to 1971, with the first version having a slightly different slant and both versions having a dark blue field. On March 12, 2006, Venezuela changed its flag from this to this. An A star was added to represent the Guyana province, which was a province of Venezuela when it originally declared independence, and the colors were modified. On April 14, 2006, Italy changed its flag from this to this. Yeah, the changes to the flag from 2003 were literally just reverted. Moving on. On April 24, 2006, Cyprus changed its flag from this to this. This was just a simple redesign, changing the shape of the olive branches, altering the colors, repositioning the flag's elements, and changing the aspect ratio from 3:5 to 2:3. On June 3, 2006, Montenegro gained independence from the state union of Serbia and Montenegro and adopted this flag as its national flag. 2 days later, on June 5, 2006, Serbia also gained independence from the union and adopted this flag as its national flag. On September 1, 2006, Ukraine changed its flag from this to this. Like many changes so far, this was just a re-specification of the colors. On October 4, 2006, Lesotho changed its flag from this to this. This flag was chosen from a set of 4 proposed designs which replaced the Basotho shield in the old flag with a Basotho hat. This flag, interestingly enough, was adopted on the 40th anniversary of the day Lesotho gained independence from the United Kingdom. On January 22nd, 2008, Iraq changed its flag from this to this. This edition of the flag removed the 3 stars, as many Kurds in Iraq associated the stars with the Anfal campaign of 1988. On May 16th, 2009, Ethiopia changed its flag from this to this. This is just a simple color modification. The light blue disc in the center was changed to a darker shade of blue. Here's another change that I couldn't find an exact date for. In November 2009, Ecuador changed its flag from this to this. This change was made after the Ecuadorian National Secretariat of Communication issued a series of regulations describing new guidelines for the flag, including a change in aspect ratio, with the new flag having a ratio of 2:3. On July 29th, 2010, Malawi changed its flag from this to this. The new flag was created by the Democratic Progressive Party, which at the time led the Malawian government. However, many people in the nation didn't like the new flag upon its introduction, viewing it as unnecessary, illegitimate, and undemocratic. On October 21st, 2010, Myanmar changed its flag from this to this. The new flag was originally detailed in the 2008 Constitution of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, but didn't become official until the 2010 Union Flag Law. The old flag was originally introduced back when Myanmar, at the time known as Burma, became a socialist republic and added a corn cob and cog to represent the new government. As a result, by the time the new constitution was being created, the old flag had become outdated. On November 11th, 2010, Serbia changed its flag from this to this. Like many prior examples, this was just a simple redesign and helped standardize some elements of the flag. On May 30th, 2011, South Korea changed its flag from this to this. Once again, the colors were just made brighter. On July 1st, 2011, Eswatini, known at the time as Swaziland, changed its flag from this to this. The Injabo tassels on the flag were changed from blue to black since widowbird feathers, which are what the tassels are made of, are actually naturally black, not blue. On July 8th, 2011, Mongolia changed its flag from this to this. This is yet another color standardization, in which the bright blue center became darker, the Sayombo symbol became a more mild shade of yellow, and the red bars were slightly adjusted. On July 9th, 2011, South Sudan gained independence and adopted this as its national flag. This flag actually originates from 6 years earlier, on July 9th, 2005, when South Sudan achieved greater autonomy from Sudan. Independence was later achieved in 2011, and this flag was upgraded to a national flag. On July 22nd, 2011, San Marino changed its flag from this to this. This change was made following the law on the flag and coat of arms of San Marino, which established official standardizations for the flag. On August 3rd, 2011, Libya changed its flag from this to this. This flag was established by the National Transitional Council during the First Libyan Civil War and was eventually recognized by the United Nations as the official flag of Libya. The new flag was actually used initially from 1951 to 1969, but was abolished when Gaddafi took control of the nation. On February 10th, 2012, Belarus changed its flag from this to this. The new flag was established by the State Committee for Standardization of the Republic of Belarus and simply adjusted the ornament pattern at the hoist and regulated a new set of colors. On May 28th, 2012, Malawi changed its flag from this to this. If you recall, this change is the reverse of what occurred previously in 2010, as in 2012, the new government led by the People's Party opted to revert the flag. On July 15th, 2013, Paraguay changed its flag from this to this. This change was intended to simplify the coat of arms in the center, while also adjusting the flag's exact colors. On August 19th, 2013, Afghanistan changed its flag from this to this. This change adjusted the emblem in the center, while also enlarging it to overlap with the black and green bars on the sides of the flag. Now we've reached the largest gap in the video thus far, with not a single alteration to a national flag occurring for almost 4 years. On August 15th, 2017, Mauritania changed its flag from this to this. The red stripes were added to represent the efforts and sacrifices that the people of Mauritania will keep consenting to the price of their blood to defend their territory following a referendum 10 days prior. On September 30th, 2017, Thailand changed its flag from this to this. This change was made on the 100th anniversary of the adoption of the old flag, where an announcement was made from the office of the Prime Minister that standardized a new set of colors for the flag. On December 22nd, 2017, Panama changed its flag from this to this. This change was made following Executive Order number 337 from the Panamanian government, which, say it with me everyone, specified a new set of colors for the flag. This is getting old. On August 28th, 2019, Belize changed its flag from this to this. Prior to 2019, Belize's flag had very little standardization, as the flag specifications could have multiple valid interpretations. This change specifically instituted a new set of guidelines for the flag and standardized each of the elements. On July 13th, 2020, France changed its flag from this to this. Both flags have coexisted as variants of each other for several decades, but in 2020 the government opted to switch the official flag from the lighter variant to the darker variant. On August 15th, 2021, Afghanistan changed its flag from this to this. This change was made when the Taliban regained control over Afghanistan, and if you recall, Afghanistan's first flag change in the video means that the nation's flag has pretty much gone full circle since the beginning of the century. Finally, on January 26, 2022, Honduras changed its flag from this to this. This design for the flag was originally standardized in 1949, which stated that the bars needed to be bright blue. However, the flag remained dark blue in practice and wasn't altered to fit the criteria until the inauguration of President Castro 73 years later. And that is every single change to a national flag in the 21st century. In total, that's 47 total changes since the start of the millennium. Technically 43 if you don't want to count nations gaining independence as a national flag change. On average, that's 2.04 changes per year, excluding 2023 since the year is still ongoing. That's impressive considering the near 4-year gap from 2013 to 2017. Now, there is room for further discussion. If you have a credible source that states the exact date that St. Lucia, the DRC, or Ecuador changed their flag, I'd be interested in seeing it in the comments. If there's a change that you particularly like, or one that you think is totally unwarranted, feel free to state your reasoning. Other than that, I hope you have a good day.
Similac Gain School with added gangliosides supports faster brain connections for faster learning.
Someone's emailed us asking which country's shape is most like a square.
What a stupid question.
Totally pointless. Slovakia?
No.
Georgia?
No. Bangladesh?
No, Bangladesh looks like a wizard.
You think everything looks like a wizard. Ghana?
Too long.
North Macedonia?
Too round.
Liberia?
No.
Malaysia?
Jay, Malaysia is not a square.
But there must be one somewhere.
Not in Oman or the UAE. And Yemen's more a rectangle.
Yes, I can see.
Russia's nothing like a square.
Too long, as far as I'm aware. Mali starts off strongly, but right here it goes to pot.
Burkina Faso is irregular. Four-sided, it is not.
Italy's a boot.
And so is Papua New Guinea.
What about Benin and Togo?
No, they're both far too skinny.
What about these little countries? Costa Rica, Lebanon?
There's no square in Singapore, Brunei, Mauritius or Gabon.
Kuwait looks like a little thumb. Madagascar looks quite lean.
Burundi looks quite like a heart. Qatar looks like a bean.
India's a diamond and Slovenia's a splot.
Cuba's very long and thin and both Koreas are short and squat.
Mozambique has got too many sides, Uzbekistan as well. Little Paraguay's no paradigm, Mauritania's an L.
And Malawi's like a seahorse, Guinea-Bissau's a weathered rock. And Nauru's nearly a circle and Somalia's a sock.
France is famously a hexagon, that fact is quite well known. But it's not the only one, it's joined by Sierra Leone.
What about these landlocked countries like Nepal or South Sudan?
They're not square and nor are Denmark, Finland, China or Iran.
Luxembourgers are all squares, which their borders don't reflect. And Australia's a cat dog and Japan we must reject.
Guatemala has two squarish sides in this bit in the north, but it won't meet our criteria cause it needs a third and fourth.
Timor-Leste
doesn't pass the test.
Moldova, Guinea.
Don't be silly.
Little Rwanda
Doesn't stand a hope in hell.
Nor does Israel.
Are we seriously going to go through every country?
Yes, I think it's important.
Both the USA and Canada have squares in large amounts, but we're only counting countries and states don't count.
Poland would look like a square if it invaded to the south. Kazakhstan looks like a turtle with a leaf stuck in its mouth.
Despite a square's efficiency, the Germans don't come close.
And Peru is like a resting dog, Guyana's like a ghost.
Ethiopia and Switzerland look like potato wedges.
Norway, Sweden and New Zealand all have far too crinkly edges.
If you have a lot of coastline, then your sides will not be straight, so the squareness of the Philippines, Greece and Ireland would be great.
Tajikistan's quite funky, as is elephant head-shaped Thailand. There's no square in Indonesia's 18,000 tiny islands.
If your country's made of islands, then a square you'll never be. There are loads of island nations that are mostly MTC.
Trinidad and Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Solomon Islands, the Seychelles, the Maldives, Micronesia, Fiji, the Marshall Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, Sao Tome and Principe, the Bahamas, Cape Verde, Tonga, Vanuatu.
The Netherlands is flat although its edges do not fit, and the following are countries with a sticky outy bit. There's Afghanistan, Namibia, the DRC's got two.
There's Ukraine, Venezuela, Eritrea, Cyprus and Kosovo.
Is Morocco square?
No, it's more austere.
Kiribati?
Not square, alas.
Senegal?
Not square at all.
San Marino?
San Marino.
The CAR so near so far, Botswana's like a flounder.
Chad looks like Jay Leno, Eswatini couldn't be rounder.
Mongolia looks like a bat, the Congo's kind of foxy.
Myanmar's like a genie and not even slightly boxy. Belize has one edge here that's straight but this bit's rather lumpy.
Algeria and Kenya are pentagons, Honduras is too bumpy.
Sri Lanka's like a raindrop, Kyrgyzstan's a bird in flight.
While Iraq and Jordan's lines are straight, the angles just aren't right. Colombia's kind of squarish, though its borders are quite rough. And Iberia would pass, but Spain alone's not square enough.
If Bolivia expanded, then a square it just might be. Nicaragua would look square if you viewed it in 3D.
Little Liechtenstein and the Argentines are not square in the least.
The Dominican Republic, that just tapers to the east. Lesotho sort of squarish, but the angle's on the wonk.
Cameroon is like a chicken with a huge badonkadonk.
Mexico?
No.
Portugal?
Too thin, too tall.
The Saudis?
Too much on a slant.
The Vatican?
The Vatican.
Listing every country by its shape is not an easy job, when inevitably loads of them look only like a blob.
So to make things more efficient, as I'm sure you've got the gist, here are all the blobby countries in a quick compiled list.
Andorra, Antigua and Barbuda, Austria, Barbados, Belgium, Belarus, Bhutan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Cambodia, Czechia, Djibouti, Dominica, Estonia, Grenada, Hungary, Iceland, Latvia, Lithuania, Romania, Serbia, St. Lucia, Tanzania, Uruguay, Zimbabwe.
Sama's like a butterfly whose wings have been removed.
But at Ecuador and Bahrain, and it's massively improved.
Little Monaco's so tiny you can see the piers within.
Chile's very, 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 very long and thin.
Uganda cannot be a square because of all the lakes. The Gambia, Vietnam and Panama all look like snakes.
Haiti, Croatia and Zambia all have shapes that wrap around. Syria's just a bit too slopey and El Salvador's too long.
That doesn't rhyme.
Palau looks like a jellyfish, Pakistan looks like a duck.
Azerbaijan looks like a bird that's been run over by a truck.
This monkey is Armenian.
This shooting star's Laotian.
Jamaica, Malta and Niger are creatures from the ocean.
Greenland's not a real country even though it's really big.
The UK looks like an old witch sitting sideways on a pig.
Comoros would if it were glued.
Some parts of Tuvalu look rude.
Turkmenistan looks like something or another.
Tunisia and Albania look like each other.
South Africa's too wobbly, Bulgaria's too knobbly, Brazil is too triangular, Turkey is too rectangular. Now the only countries left are ones whose squareness are the best.
If you know which ones are coming, we're incredibly impressed.
Little Montenegro square if you rotate it some degrees.
South Sudan has left behind the very square North Sudanese.
The angles in Angola mean it's nearly good to go. And Nigeria comes close although it bulges down below.
Libya is nearly square, it's more a parallelogram.
And Cote d'Ivoire and Suriname do well in our exam.
Equatorial Guinea's very square, but unfortunately, since its capital's on an island, then the squarest it can't be. So the winner of our contest, fitting all our tight prescriptions,
it's the squarest of the squarest.
The nation of the pharaohs,
the land of Cleopatra,
the country where the Sphinx is, it's the land of the Egyptians.
Any more interesting emails come in?
There's one asking for every capital city in the world.
Oh, that would have made a much better song.
Next on the Day After Yesterday programme, Professor John Whitstable joins us to discuss the life and work of Noel Edmonds.
Finally, a topic I'm really interested in.
Professor, good morning. Good morning. I'd like to start with Noel's first television appearance on Swap Shop in 1976.
What? No, it wasn't. It was Top of the Pops in 1972.
Swap Shop was, of course, one of Edmonds' most influential works.
Excuse me? Are you listening? I said it was Top of the Pops.
And was this the show that made Edmonds a household name on ITV? Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. Noel Edmonds never had a show on ITV. Please correct your mistake and apologise.
Of course, Noel Edmonds went on to play Captain America in the Marvel movies. Now, this is a fact.
Hello? You're talking rubbish. Can anyone hear me?
That's fascinating, Professor, and I wonder if...
Hello?
Oh, hello there. I'm just calling to find out if you're happy with your current audio listening platform.
Well, actually, I'm not. I've been talking to my radio and it's been completely ignoring me.
Would you like to hear about a new app called Stereo that lets you join in the discussion?
Well, yes, I would.
So Stereo is a completely free app that you can download onto your phone, and you can listen to live conversations happening between people from across the world, and you can actually leave your own comments for them to listen to and play out.
That sounds great. Can I broadcast my own conversations too?
So you can actually broadcast your own conversations as well, either by scheduling a chat with a friend, or the app will randomly place you with another Stereo user, and you can just start chatting and broadcasting immediately.
So it's a great way to meet new people.
So to get started, all you do is download the Stereo app and create your own avatar, and you can accessorize that too if you like.
Can I have a halo and a monocle?
Yeah, absolutely. You can have a halo and a monocle. Just put that through for you now.
So any shows you'd recommend?
So we're currently recommending a show called Map Men Get Lost. That will be on at 6:30 p.m. today. That's 12th of April 2021. It's a great opportunity to ask the mapmen any questions you might have. So if you'd just like to click on the link in the description below, that'll take you straight through to the show. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, anything else I can help you with today?
No thanks. I'll download Stereo immediately. Bye. Now, how do I find the App Store?
It's on your phone, stupid.
If you could plonk the other one down anywhere in the world and they would have to find out where they are, Jay, where would you put Mark? And Mark, where would you put Jay?
What I would do is find the field where you are convinced that you're really far away, but it's as close as possible to your house.
Yeah. I would like to place you in the Darien Gap between Panama and Colombia that connects Central America and South America to thick jungle and marshland and swamp and really inhospitable. I just want to see if you'd survive. I'm just interested.
What a cruel thing to do.
Who do we name? You got it!
Poco!
KiloCode is a powerful, open-source AI coding assistant that supercharges your development workflow right inside VS Code. But unlike other AI tools that just autocomplete what you're writing or create lines and lines of AI slop, KiloCode is a full development partner that can handle complex tasks across your entire codebase. At its core, KiloCode uses specialized modes to adapt to different development tasks. Code mode helps you implement features and fix bugs. Architect mode plans your system before writing a single line of code. Ask mode explains complex codebases without modifying anything, and debug mode systematically troubleshoots problems. Need to handle complex projects? Orchestrator mode breaks them down into manageable subtasks, each handled by a specialized mode. It's like having your own dev team, an architect for planning, a coder for implementation, and a debugger for when things inevitably break, all inside your IDE. The best part? KiloCode gives you direct access to cutting-edge AI models from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and others, at the provider's cost with no additional markup. Choose from Claude, GPT, or Gemini based on your specific needs and budget. You pay for the AI, not for Kilo. Using KiloCode is as simple as typing. Just open the panel and describe what you want in plain English. You can reference specific files with context mentions, you can reference external URLs for documentation or even your Git history, all by using the @ symbol, helping Kilo understand your codebase for more relevant assistance. KiloCode proposes actions through tools, specialized helpers that help read files, make edits, run commands, and search your codebase. You approve each action, keeping you in control while also automating repetitive tasks.
New Axe Fine Fragrance Collection. Smell irresistibly sweet for longer.
He's sweet. He's sweet!
With scents inspired by luxury perfumes.
New Axe Fine Fragrance Collection.
Around a month ago, I made a video called The Most Unfunny Brand Ever, where I called Duolingo an unfunny brand, and I got flamed for it.
How about you making a whole video just because some company is a little corny? Don't lower your ego, sweetheart.
Jesus Christ! Judge as a channel has gone downhill, man. I'm all for change, but what is this? Ugh, I don't like you. You're annoying. But here's a comment to make your video more popular. You get the idea. There's tons more. Now the reason why my video aged like fine wine is because shortly after I uploaded it, Duolingo said that they're going to become AI first, meaning they prioritize AI over their actual workers whilst also claiming they still care about their workers. Sure, buddy. I've made tons of videos explaining why I think AI is bad, but in this situation they're just prioritizing AI over real people, which isn't a good thing, considering you're just making people not have jobs. But how exactly does this benefit Duolingo themselves? For starters, I believe that AI is faster and smarter than humans, because that's basically true. It probably saves them a lot of money using AI. So it's faster and cheaper than people. But how does this affect the people? Well, for starters, no job equals no money. No money equals no house. No house equals homeless. You want more people to be homeless, Duolingo? How thoughtless. In all seriousness though, it's a bad thing, obviously. Also, Duolingo, why the fuck would you need to save money anyway? You guys are fucking rich. That is just... it's such a stupid decision as well. People are not going to enjoy this decision, and they're going to uninstall your app. I mean, they should have never had it in the first place. Sorry, no matter how useful this app is, I fucking hate the advertising for it. Cause like, what do you mean Duolingo's trying to be hip with the kids? Just look at this, for example.
Mama, may I have cookie? No, diabito, Robert.
I don't think I've ever felt such rage towards a fucking owl before. I genuinely hate this fucking brand so much. And you guys are gonna flame me for it again. You're gonna be like, they're funny, Judge, you just don't understand. You're unfunny, you stupid bitch. Like, I genuinely don't mind if you find Duolingo funny. It's just that it's a shame that they've decided to prioritize AI over actual people just so that they can clear up some fucking shit. Like, okay. Now, I'm not saying AI can't be good. I'm saying that in this instance, it isn't good. Generative AI is pretty bad, and I'm not sure if they're using generative AI, you know, like media, photos, videos, stuff like that. I don't know if they're using that. It wouldn't surprise me if they did start using generative AI, considering they loved that trend where it was just using AI images. You know, the Italian brain rot shit. Yes, people, there are people that actually enjoy watching this and find it hilarious. And before you all start commenting on my humour, my comedy, the way I make my videos, please respectfully be quiet. I don't think I'm some comedy legend.
Maybe we shouldn't have free speech.
Comments multiple times and boosts the video.
At this point, you can't even talk. Get out!
The most unfunny YouTuber ever.
I think you're just out of touch, to be honest.
You edit your comment and you can't fix your mistake? You're just as unfunny. Shut your bitch ass up. Post something useful for once. Okay. Ouch. Okay, this one's just weird. Like I said, I have no problem with the people who enjoy Duolingo's content. It's just I have a problem with Duolingo myself. Of course, if you're gonna flame me, I'll flame you back. I mean, thanks for helping boosting my video. It's really great. Anyways, shortly after this drama came out, this came out. These stupid videos, and it's like calling everyone tinfoil hatters. That's the vibe I'm getting anyway. It's just corny and it's not friggin' tough.
Hello, world. I'm a part of Duolingo's social team, and it's time you all learn the truth. Enough is enough. If you have seen this video, I'll know my plan has worked.
Heh. Conspiracy theories, I will. And, we're secretly evil.
Ah, fucking Duolingo, Jesus Christ. Get a grip. I don't think I've ever been so embarrassed by a brand before. Don't forget, other brands are like this too. But mainly Duolingo is the worst for it, I have to say. Genuinely, I've never felt such hatred towards such a stupid green owl before. I think this has got to be some sort of marketing stunt, but it's really not working. If you just check some of the comments, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, I get they're trying to use AI to be more helpful, but then again, it's just replacing people.
Guys, we're hiring more people, whilst also firing more.
I'm not sure if I need to address anything else, but genuinely, I got flamed for my opinion. If I get flamed for my opinion again, great. I mean, these types of videos have existed for years. Before I was even born. So, yeah, please, pretty please, just don't flame me, please. It would be very great. Thank you all for watching my video on Duolingo. Yet again, it was tough to make because I genuinely cannot stand Duolingo, but yeah, thank you all for watching and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.
Two of the strangest but most powerful concepts in psychology are called variously sadism and masochism. By sadism is understood an enjoyment in causing other people suffering, and by masochism an enjoyment in receiving ill treatment from others. Though commonly associated with sexual scenarios, these drives operate in all areas of life, at the office or in the schoolyard, as much as in the bedroom or the dungeon. So, why do they exist? Why do we seem to delight in inflicting suffering, or, even more strangely, take satisfaction in enduring it? The best way to understand the phenomena is to view them as attempts to deal with an earlier, intolerable experience of fear, cruelty, or unkindness. Before anyone winds up either a sadist or a masochist, they've first been a victim. Subsequent behaviours are a reflection of the mind's concerted attempts to find a way out of a naked encounter with pain. Masochists and sadists are both trying to ensure that they will survive what once felt like it might annihilate them. The sadist hits on the more straightforward move. Having received cruelty, they conclude that the best way to escape its shadow is to be cruel to somebody else. The poison is redirected outwards. The former terrified child becomes a terrifying adult. Implicitly, the sadist believes that there are only two roles available, victim or perpetrator, and that their best chances of never again ending up as the former is to ensure that they will always be the latter. Masochists have, like sadists, also been the victims of cruelty. Like sadists, they are also in flight from defenselessness. But their method of adaptation is more roundabout. A sense of weakness, real or imagined, holds them back from attempts to persecute other people. And yet they still need some psychological way of alleviating the memory of suffering. And so they hit upon what could almost be labelled an ingenious idea. They decide that they will henceforth choose suffering, rather than having it forced upon them. They opt to turn a necessity into something akin to a choice. Once they had no option but to be bullied by their family of birth. Now they go out in active search of mean-minded partners whom they can unconsciously tell will deny them tenderness and care. Once they were told by others that they were a failure. Now they ruin their own chances before anyone else has the opportunity to do it for them. To liberate ourselves, we need to find our way back to the pain that lies behind our behaviours. And then we should do something that we have until now avoided. Mourn what we have gone through. We should exchange pain for sorrow. We should cry for what we have had to endure, not ask anyone else, it might be a stranger or, as regrettably ourselves, to suffer any further.
Kanya-kanyang mundo. Iba-iba ang laro. Manalo man o matalo, sa Jollibee nagkakasundo. Dito, may Jollibee Game Joy Combos. Eat to earn game rewards. Bawat combo, may free mystery credits that you can use kahit ano pang game mo. Sa Jollibee, lahat ng gamers sarap mag-power up. Jollibee Game Joy Combos. Eat to earn game rewards.
back in with more flavors.
Sans, what happened? No! You will perish! It's time! I can feel everyone's passion! We defeat you! I will defeat you! No matter how many souls you have! A new human. Take this! A new human. A fused soul! He will meet his demise. We will return! You won!
Rannalle himmeän lahden, aurinko laskenut on. Kutsu jo soilta huudon, taakka jo laskettu on. Tahtoa muistassa silloin, askel joutunut on. Lapset ja lastemme lapset, teidän nyt vuoronne on. Penni soi holmissa hiljaa, tummana kaipuuta soi. Aika on korjannut viljaa, sarka jo kynnetty on. Ammoin me marssimme kahden, tulta löi taivas ja maa. Rannoilta äänisen lahden, kelle nyt kertoa saa. Laatokan maati, kahlita kenkään ei voi. Veljet sen rantoja vaati, konsa on koittava koi. Ylvänä
sapevo, tu scantaccandalo don, ma ei di suoi anza sul che partia poi saio con.
There's an evil fucking wizard and he's giving me some problems cause he's turning all my chickens into stupid little rocks. So I'm climbing up his tower, he's up there in the shower and I'm punching evil wizard in his tiny little cock. He's gonna pay for all my chickens when I punch his fucking dick in. And at least 2 generations of his evil wizard kids. Then I'll beat him with a hammer in his evil wizard manner till he understands that he is just an evil wizard pig. I'm gonna shoot him with my handgun through the both my hand and tan him till he's dead and all his blood is all across the fucking walls. Then I'll drag his lifeless body down the stairs into the lobby where I'll pulverize his little fucking magic wizard balls. I'll remind him what I'm here for when I take him to the pay store and I buy him every single fucking item that is there. And once they're down to the picture, I will take a little picture and if we're just worth a pretty little image I will share. Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Now atop the evil tower in a wizard room at cower, so I take a massive jab at his tiny little dick. But the wizard he is ready, and because his hands are steady, he has an evil fireball like a fucking brick. So I grab my trusty hammer and into his head I slam her, and it brings about a really bad cerebral hemorrhage. He is shaken to his core and he topples to the floor, so I take advantage of his really awesome leverage. And I beat him till he's dead, and my hands are stained with red. Now I killed the fucking wizard like an evil fucking villain. Then I put on his hat, I put on his robe. Now I'm thinking to myself, I think it's time to do some killing. So I fly into the town and I cast a fireball, and I kill so many people that the kingdom may just fall. Then I fly back to my tower with my magic wizard power, and I masturbate to wizard porn for 40 fucking hours. Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! There's an angry fucking peasant and I've given him permission cause I turned all of his pickies into tiny little stones. And he's marching on my castle like a little fucking asshole, so I'm gonna have to break all of his angry peasant bones. He wants to beat me with a shovel, but we're gonna have to tussle. And because that I'm a wizard, I will surely fucking win, cause I'm gonna cast some spells that will send him straight to hell like magic lightning to obliterate his brittle fucking shit. But now he's here and I'm not ready, and he brought a sharp machete, and he's looking at me with a certain look upon his eyes. So I try to touch the fucker, but he pulls me like a sucker, and he's stabbing such a way I think that surely I will die. With my final dying breath I look on over to my left, and I see that fucking peasant reaching for my wizard orb. And as he ponders it with wonder. I realize my fatal blunder, for the evil wizard cycle will repeat forevermore. Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Evil fucking wizard! Magic and lightning! Evil fucking wizard!
Lucky may kasalo pa! Mas malaki, mas sustansya, mas masarap, mas pack sa sulit!
There's an evil wizard and he's giving me some problems, cause he's turning all my chickens into stupid little rocks. So I'm climbing up his tower, he's up there in the shower, and I'm punching evil wizard in his tiny little leg. He's gonna pay for all my chickens when I punch his dang leg. And he'll lose 2 generations of his evil wizard kids. Then I'll beat him with a hammer in his evil wizard manner, till he understands that he is just an evil wizard pig. I'm gonna shoot him with my handgun through the both my hand and tan him till he's dead, and all his blood is all across the dang walls. Then I'll drag his lifeless body down the stairs into the lobby where I'll pulverize his little dang magic wizard leg. I'll remind him what I'm here for when I take him to the paint store, and I find every single dang item that is there. And once that I'm the victor, I will take a little picture, and if it's worth a pretty little image I will share. Evil dang wizard! Evil dang wizard! Evil dang wizard! Evil dang wizard! Now atop the evil tower, and a wizard will not cower, so I take a massive jab at his tiny little leg. But the wizard, he is ready, and because his hands are steady, he has an evil fireball on me. So I grab my trusty hammer, and into his head I slam her, and it brings about a bad cerebral hemorrhage. He is shaken to his core, and he topples to the floor, so I take advantage of his really awesome leverage. And I beat him till he's dead, and my hands are stained with red. Now I kill the dang wizard like an evil dang villain. Then I put on his hat, I put on his robe. Now I'm thinking to myself, I think it's time to do some fun. So I fly into the town, and I cast a fireball, and I kill so many people that the kingdom will just fall. And I fly back to my tower with my magic wizard power, and I listen to code for 40 dang hours. Evil dang wizard! Evil dang wizard! Evil dang wizard! Evil dang wizard! There's an egg dang, that's an I've given it the mission, cause I turned all of his pickies into tiny little stones, and he's marching up my castle like a little fella. So I'm gonna have to break all of his angry peasant bones. He wants to beat me with a shovel, but we're gonna have to tussle. And because that I'm a wizard, I will surely dang win, because I'm gonna cast some spells that will spend him strict diabolic magic hunting to obliterate his brittle dang. But now he's here and I'm not ready, and he brought a sharp machete.
live with wonder and realize my fatal blunder. For the evil wizard cycle will repeat forevermore. Evil! Dang! Wizard! Evil! Dang! Wizard! Evil! Dang! Wizard! Chicken lightning! Evil! Dang!
Touchscreen works the same way as it does for those systems, but Nintendo 3DS comes with an extending stylus. Hello, little stylus.
Hello, Mario.
If you want to smell sweet and fresh throughout the day, we have here Axe Vanilla.
sagrado. Libertad, libertad, libertad. Oído el ruido de rotas cadenas. Beben trono a la noble igualdad. Ya su trono dignísimo abrieron las provincias unidas del sur, y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino. Salud al gran pueblo argentino. Salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino. Salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino. Salud. Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir, coronados de gloria, vivamos. Oh, juremos con gloria a morir. Oh, juremos con gloria a morir. Oh, juremos con gloria a morir.
More puppies!
Everyday growing moments. Monday special moments.
Concebemos y en sus
Mommy, the ball is stuck.
Oh no, ang taas!
What would a Similac Gain School Fast Learner do?
Aha! Bring it down with water.
Similac Gain School, with added gangliosides, supports faster brain connections for faster learning.
From the #1 multivitamin brand, Centrum Kids Gummies. Multivitamin gummies,
So yummy.
full of nutrients for growing kids.
Centrum Kids Gummies.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Centrum Kids ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
No más.
back in with more flavors.